Okay, people. October 6, 2017. I'm doing a yard check. My landlady just called me, said the city came by again, is threatening $8,400 and up. I've got 1 week to clean up the back. They're coming in here and taking stuff. They want my car out of here. They're taking my car, people. They're taking my car. Apparently, I'm supposed to remove my car. Right? I don't know what else they're taking. I guess they're taking the workhorses. I've been canning, people. You know that. Canning for winter. This is shingles that I was thinking to do this other side. Right? So I haven't quite finished that yet. This needs to be moved. There's the wood for the garage. This one here my daughter was going to help me with, but we've been kind of busy. I've been busy, people. That's what it is. I've been busy with the food. Right? So they're coming in here and they're just going to take what they want. This I was going to sort out after I've done the canning, which I'm pretty much done the canning now. I told you that. Let's go to the front. And my landlady said she's giving me an eviction notice. Well, it was just an excuse, because this house here, they're renting this house 2 bedrooms up, 2 bedrooms down for $2,800 a month now. That's what it is, people. They're forcing me out so they can get $2,800 a month for this house. Right? Now that the yard is, now that you can plant food. Right? This was all weeds, people. All weeds. It grew nothing but weeds. This was all weeds. I have video. This was all sand and weeds. I have video. Right? I was going to harvest this for TV dinners. For the winter. Right? So anyway, I'm going to take the city to court. That's what I'm going to do. I haven't been able to wash those toys yet because I was making food for the winter. Right. This is wood for Andre's walnut art. To make mobiles and that type of thing. Right? This is what people want, people. They want the greenhouse. They want the gardens. They want the sheds. Right? This is the big one that they want. Now that it's been built and you can grow food, right? They don't want you to have it. They want somebody else to pay $25, $28, $3,000 a month for this. There was never sheds in there. Okay, people, so this is what's getting me evicted. planning for food for the winter. Do you see? Okay, people. So, obviously I'm being forced out of this house. This is unusual. Either the landlord wants to get me out so they can sell it and not fix it and make $1 million on it plus, or somebody wants to buy it and they figure if they get the city to harass me, it will irritate the landlords to kick me out, and then there's a good chance the landlords will sell it because they just don't want to deal with it anymore. And whoever wants it will have a better chance of buying it. Or the landlords want to kick me out and raise the rent to $2,800, $3,000 a month versus $17,000. Right? And get new people to come in and do the repairs that I can't. Because they're excited to live here with the greenhouse and the sheds and the pond and the gardens and the blueberry bushes and the raspberry bushes and the plum trees and just the whole 9 yards, people. I mean, it is boiling down to I'm being forced out of this house. Okay? It's not that bad back there, people. It's not that bad back there. And I took a couple weeks out just to garner some strength, right? Because yard work is not easy work, people. I'm not well. I've been saying it for a long time. And I just needed to gain a little strength, right? Just to get me through for the next couple of months to finish up Andre's shed in terms of those shingles and the little miscellaneous stuff that's back there. Worked on the garage, right? I already packed Andre's shed with a bunch of craft materials and teddy bears that I was planning on doing something in the spring with Andre and those children across the street, because Andre now plays with those children across the street. There's a little girl that kind of babysits him now when he goes there, so he's being watched, right? And I pay her. And I already told the mom that, I'm planning in the springtime to bring out the craft tables, and I've got tons and tons and tons of teddy bears for the little carnival that we were going to have. But that's all being destroyed, people, as usual. Anytime I'm going out with the kids, the naysayers come out of the woodwork and start calling the cops and the city, and they got to shut me down. So before I even get to spark up, they're shutting me down. I don't know why my car is a problem. I've owned that car for 27 years, people. 27 years. Instead of putting money into the car this year, I put money into Andre's shed. So I could have the stuff in there for the children's activities that I was going to do and whatnot. Right? And I took time out to do some food, right? Whether it was my food that was growing in the garden or whether it was apples on the cheap at 25 cents a pound. Because come winter time, there's no guarantee that I'm going to have any money for groceries, people, because that's the bottom line. When you're looking at $450 to $500 a month every 2 months hydro bills and $400 and up gas bills for 3-4 consecutive months in the winter time, with your rent and your basic telephone, just a landline, that's all it is. I only have a landline. That's not my cell phone. That's my daughter's cell phone. I use just an old dial-up phone, well, push-button phone that's plugged into the wall, and an internet line. And of course I'm being gouged with interest with CIBC Bank, because, the more that CIBC Bank can be on that bandwagon with Fraser Health that they did nothing wrong, the more that they'll get away with robbing John blind and destroying his life and his family's life, and that's the bottom line. So there's a couple of options that I have in terms of this recent development of what's going on with the city again. The city is just the excuse here, people. Whether the city is doing it on purpose or whether the city is being instigated by somebody else, I mean, I'll never get the truth of that matter, right? But there are a couple of things that I can try and do first before everything gets torn apart and ripped apart and completely destroyed, right? So I'm going to try one thing first. I'm not going to mention what I'm going to do, but I'm going to try one thing first. And then if that doesn't smooth things out, then I'm going to try another thing, right? Personally, I don't want to have to take this to court, but if I have to, people, I will. I've put 7 years into this yard. 5 years, nobody bothered me. The 4th year, the yard was ripped up, torn apart because of the plumbing, and I had to go back out there and redo it again with the city, with the whip on my back, souk. That not only was I doing the front, but I was doing everywhere. He had me moving wood in the wintertime, people, from one pile to another. And I was out there. I did it. I did it for a whole year, people. It wore me out. And it took away from working on Uncle John's lawsuit. And then I had to be just Nana to Andre and just, you know, do things with Andre, the walnut tree. And then now we're growing trees. Now we're actually growing trees. But people don't value that. Right? Well, we put the pond in. Right? I never did get to change that pump thing on the pond because I spent the whole day cutting the grass for the city. But, you know, they're creeping the back. They want the car gone now, apparently. And God knows what else. So I'll go out there tomorrow in the rain because there is a pile there that I'm picking through as I'm... Because I went into the basement and I pulled out all the teddy bears and I went through all the bins with all the craft materials and I organized everything, and then I started moving everything into the shed once the shingles got up. So that shed is like full of craft material and teddy bears, basically. Right? And then there's a few other stuff downstairs that still has to go into the shed. So that's kind of what I was doing. And, you know, the pile is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but the city wants it all gone in one time. And that's my shed, like my garage. They don't have a right to go into my garage and start pulling things out of my garage. And in terms of the wood for the garage, I mean, okay, I guess I'll bring the wood into the garage, which I planned on doing anyway. I just haven't had a chance to sort out the few things that are in the garage because I was focusing on children's craft and teddy bears and filling up the shed to clear out the basement a bit more. I've been sitting on nonprofit stuff for a long time, people, because of this yard. And now that the yard is coming together, now that it grows vegetables, now that it grows fruit, right? And I'm not talking just a little bit. Don't forget, I gave a whole bunch away over the summer. I gave bags and bags of food away over the summer, on top of whatever it was that I took for myself from out there. And there's still food out there, right? So anyway, I'm not going to drag this out. Like I said, I have a couple of options here that I'm going to follow up on. And today is what, October 6th? Today is the day that Fraser Health Authority is going to court to put a dismissal in. Because they don't seem to think that they did anything wrong with Uncle John. They think that they gave him the best, the best of the best of the best of health care that possibly could give to an old person. Right? And if Uncle John would know what was going on since he's been taken out of the Surrey Memorial Hospital and the Yale Road Center and treated the way he was treated, and then to see his family be treated the way we're being treated, trust me, people, he would not be a happy camper. And just, that was the phone. You could hear it was just a regular plug-in phone. Just, I just want to remind people I'm not well. And that, you know, this is gang stalking at its best. For money. Strictly for money, people. This house can bring in over $3,000 a month. As is. As is. They can kick me out. I pay $1,700. They can rent this place out. If they're renting this place out for $2,800 a month, they can get $3,000 a month for this place, people. No problem. As is. With the problems and everything. The new tenants won't be happy with some of the problems, like the porch and stuff like that, but they'll learn to adapt, because a leaky boat is better than no boat.
I'm just getting more pork now.
And now I don't even have a boat.
No, I'm just getting more pork, okay?
Okay, people, so we're on October 6th at 20 to 1 in the morning. This is the raspberry that was dehydrated that I cooked up and made juice with, and the plums. I've combined the two together, and what I'm doing now, this is the blackberries that Andre and I picked over the summertime. These are frozen. Normally I rinse them off, but I don't need to in this case. Andre likes to eat these frozen. They're really good. I like them too. So anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. Just to add some color and just a little more fiber, right? And a little more flavor to compensate for the raspberry that lost its flavor with the juice. Because the seeds, people, that are left behind in the pulp, there's lots and lots of nutrients in that. So I'm not going to be stupid and waste it, right? So I'm just going to make some more jam. That's what I'm doing. Right? And there's 6 more jars of apple juice. 2 are Fiji apples, and then 4 are more like a Macintosh, little bit of a mix match. And then these galas over here, you can see, there's there, and I have more over there. I'm going to take them downstairs tomorrow and put them in the fridge for pie. Actually, I might even put them in the fridge tonight. And then take them downstairs tomorrow, because I have room in my fridge now. So I'll put some of them in the fridge, and then on Sunday my son is going to help me make pie with those apples. And then maybe at the end of October, Macintoshes will be out, and I'll make another batch of, what do you call it? Apple juice and apple butter. Hold on. Apple butter, 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 apple butter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not bad. Okay. So, it's going on 2 in the morning now. And as you can see, the blackberries gave it color. Right? And then once you put the sugar in there and you bring it up to a high boil, it's going to even get richer in color. So with that amount of fruit, I'm probably going to put at least 4 cups of sugar, maybe 5. Bring it to a high heat, treat it like a jam, bring it down, boil it, and then can it. Hold on. Okay. Ouch. It's hot. I am making jam. Do you see how bright the color is now, people? Doesn't that look beautiful? Do you see?